as business owners, we all struggle with asking for help, but it's definitely nice to have that help.
It's weird to relinquish some stuff in the beginning, but once you get comfortable with it, sometimes people are better at what you were doing too. So like once you start letting it go and you're like, okay, I survived, like it didn't hurt that much, then it becomes easier. But that first couple of times you're like,
agreed.
I used to do that.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Lead Lamp Podcast. Again, I'm Brett Wiley. This week we have Meghan Rhoades from Wink Print Keepsakes. So Meghan and I go back as far as working together because from your past career, which we could touch on a little bit, but I wanted to get you on the show to find out what you're doing now. I know we've been working with you a little bit on some stuff, but kind of tell everyone where you've been and a little bit about your journey.
Yeah, so I was in the dental field for about 5 years. I came in with like no knowledge of, I didn't even know teeth had numbers. Like I knew nothing. But I knew it wasn't my calling. And I've just been searching for a while, just in life in general of like what I wanted to do and everything. At the time I was still, whenever I was working with you still at Verber, I was also part-time working for our business back home, which was a landscape construction business. So I was doing more of like the business end of things while he was out like doing the actual manual work, which is perfectly fine. You couldn't pay me to do that. So I got a really good idea of the back end of business and everything. And around that time, whenever I was kind of searching what I wanted to do, like I was just drawing up like design plans of like what I wanted to do in the future. Honestly, like I would love to one day have like a brick and mortar, it's kind of like a combination of things business, but like I was just kind of drawing it up and seeing like what I wanted to do. But a few years went by and I was still doing this and just kind of thinking about like, well, what do I want to do and everything. And within the landscape construction business, Steve has, our motto slogan is burn the ships. So maybe this is too much, but
no, go for it.
But the burn the ships mentality, whether it's true or not, the story goes, I believe his name was Hernan Cortez back in the day, brought all of his people on ships to a new area, a new destination, everything. They didn't have anything built. They were trying to create these new communities and they were at war with maybe the Aztecs. Again, don't quote me on this.
It's rough history. It's a rough
history. Yeah, that's right. And all of his people were like, this is too hard. Like, I want to turn back. And he knew that would not be better for them. So he decided to burn the ships. So they quite literally had no other option but to push forward in what they were doing and just conquer it the best that they could. And, we apply that. Obviously we're not burning actual ships or anything, but it applies to your everyday life.
Lighting your employees' cars on fire. Like, well,
right.
You can't go home.
Well,
you're stuck
you're
working.
You're stuck here. Yeah. No, it's kind of
like, don't look back.
Yes.
Like, just let's move forward.
Quite literally with everything, with your kids, like, how can I be the best father that I can be? With, you go into work, like, what can I do to provide better for, my coworkers, my just everything that you do, give it your all. And that kind of led me to wanting to start my own business and kind of go into that as well. And I do have like a more aggressive personality. So you used to work with me. I'm very outspoken. I'm very like,
you'll tell us what you're thinking.
Yes. Yeah. And honestly, like I just wanted that to kind of come across, with, my new journey with God and everything. And just showing like his testimony in my life. I wanted to show that to others and how, it can make a huge difference. Yeah.
So you went from being in the dental world and then picking up, helping with Steve and his business. And what was kind of that moment when first of all, probably the first couple moments when you were asked to help with that? Were you asked to help with his business, or were you like, I'll do it? Like, you need some help. Well, how was that?
Again, this is while I was actually at VPD now.
Right. You're at our pediatric practice.
Yes. And so I was doing it part-time. So like on lunch, I was calling customers for them. I was like creating, the marketing, door hangers. After work, I would meet him at a neighborhood and we'd go walk around and do door hangers together, and on weekends. And so honestly, I was working just all the time, and I always had the work phone with me. So I was always answering calls and everything. So, it kind of felt like it was just the next step that I go, full in with him to help him build this and everything. And to get it to a point where we can start hiring, and we did, and we're,
Was it just but him at the time? At the time,
it was just him.
He's just hustling.
He was just
all the time.
Straight. Yes. Yeah. So, that man can work to death. So it's
probably a relief though to have a little bit of help now.
Yes, it definitely is. Sometimes, as business owners, we all struggle with asking for help, but it's definitely nice to have that help.
It's weird to relinquish some stuff in the beginning, but once you get comfortable with it, sometimes people are better at what you were doing too. So like once you start letting it go and you're like, okay, I survived, like it didn't hurt that much, then it becomes easier. But that first couple of times you're like,
Agreed.
I used to do that.
Yeah. Yes.
So now you're in it, you're helping him. What was that moment where you were like, I could do something on my own? Even before maybe you already had your concept of what you wanted to do with Wink and Print. You might have already had that, maybe you didn't. But what was that moment you're like, I can do this?
Honestly, I was looking through old photos. I was pulling something for my sister-in-law's baby shower. It was like, and I was like, this is so many photos, and like I never see them. Like I never they're just kind of tucked away and stuff, and everything's so aesthetic nowadays. And like, well, I was like, I want to start bringing photos back to the fridge and everything. And honestly, the next day I saw a machine that you can make your own photo magnets and start. And I was like, oh, I love that. And I was like, no. Like, I really love that. Like, I want to start doing this. So that was kind of my first step was, I'm just in the market world right now, where I go on weekends to different pop-ups and everything. And I've met so many other great business owners, and vendors through that.
You probably got other ideas.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So it started off with just these photo magnets, and it's kind of evolved since. So I'll do like custom shirts. So that was like another thing, like
different machine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, it's become so many.
I'm sure you come home and you're like, I need another machine.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that does help, our landscape construction business, because like every year we're ordering tons of apparel for the guys, for our friends and family.
Yeah. Every season you got to replace. They wear it hard. So
exactly. Yeah. And honestly, sometimes we give them new stuff in the spring and fall just because, sweaty guys in the summer, it doesn't last long.
It gets destroyed.
Exactly.
Probably by June, it's starting to look pretty ratty already.
Right.
Yeah.
You mulch one day in the rain and you're just
wiping
your blue shirt is completely black.
Right.
So, that's one thing that I kind of wanted to evolve with it. And then it just kind of went from there. I like to sew, so I'm launching a bunch of new like sewing items this year and everything. So honestly, it's kind of more like a passion project for me than anything.
Yeah.
I really enjoy doing these things, and like I've always had that like crafty side to me, so I get to actually explore it.
Right. And if you're enjoying what you're doing, it's like such an old adage, but like if you enjoy what you're doing, it doesn't always feel like work.
Right.
But that being said, there's always like the parts of it that do feel like work, I'm sure.
Oh, but absolutely.
Sometimes you look at these projects and you're like, oh.
Yes.
Right,
now your day to day of like, you guys are a marketing agency. So like, for you, social media is just like this like thing that like you do. But to me, it's very daunting, and it's one of my goals starting in February to like really launch into it and everything. But at the beginning, there was that imposter syndrome of like, who am I to show what I'm doing?
Right.
You know what I mean? But I think that's the whole point.
But most people don't see that.
Yeah.
Right. You see it.
You don't have to be, have this like established shop or anything like that. Like, yeah, I'm using my basement. Like, I'm sure hundreds and thousands of other people are too. So
you would probably be shocked the number of places you've ordered from that came from like a basement or someone's storage locker and they're shipping out of there. You know, you'd be blown away, I'm sure.
Yeah.
When you think it's a big brand and it's not.
Mm-hmm.
But so let's talk about what you're doing at Wink Print Keepsakes. Like, obviously you have the magnets and you're doing some other apparel, you're doing some other types of print now, but like at the core of it, what is it? If I'm showing up to a market or a craft show and I see you there, are you able to print on demand? What are you doing with people?
Yeah, so I do.
If I find you at your booth,
site printing. So people will just send photos in on site. They'll send them right to me, and then within 15 minutes they will walk out with their.
They can pick a product and then print on.
Yeah, so I have a couple different sizes. For magnets and everything. Something that I did learn at the beginning of the business was whenever I first started, I bought a cheap machine and I was like, this will work, you know, like just to get me started and everything. Well, like there is something to the quality of your product. I no longer use that machine whatsoever just because it doesn't provide the quality that I want to provide to my customers. It just couldn't keep up. It wasn't as great material. It wasn't so.
Well, even like you said, even if the quality was comparable or close enough, if it's slower or if it's on the back end, like more of a process to print for you to create, like that alone is such a pinch point in a business. Once you realize that if you've scaled just a tiny bit and you're like, that's not going to cut it. Like quality aside.
Yeah.
If that's a bottleneck in your process, like it's got to go.
And the market scene is very fast moving where like there are a lot of people coming in and out of. Yeah.
They don't want to stand there.
Like,
and wait forever.
Yes. And so whenever people do order the magnets, I just say like, oh, this will take, and I have it on my sign, like this will take like 15 minutes. Go ahead, walk around, enjoy the other vendors and everything, and then come back. Or I've done it at wineries. There's a great new winery, Groover Farms in New Cumberland. I go to there sometimes and, people can go enjoy their wine while I make their magnets and everything. And then I'll just shoot them a text that their product's is done and ready to be picked up.
Nice.
So I provide that on site. Starting next month, I'm doing quite a few like Valentine's Day ordeals. So I'm actually providing a t-shirt bar on site as well. So they get to pick out the color shirt that they want, the design they want, and then I'll just press it for them right there.
So you're doing t-shirt press?
Yes.
Does it print on a transfer paper?
So
how are you doing that?
So I'm bringing the transfers with
pre-designed.
So I already have them pre-designed. There'll be probably about 20 different designs. So I'm actually doing two different styles for two different events.
Okay.
So one of them I'm just having DTF. I have the shirts picked out and they pick each and then go from there. And then the other one is I have a bunch of different prints of, say you're a golfer, you have like a little golf one. They pick about like 5 to 8 different ones, and then they can like assort it.
Gotcha.
And it kind of be like, designed for them.
Yeah. So. Yeah. It's like a salad bar.
Yes. Yeah.
But then you're controlling what can go on it. It's not a wild card.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So they get more of a say. There are going to be so many different options of different variety of things. If you're a crafter, there'll be little sewing needles or, whatever. So.
Are you printing your own transfers though? Like, are you at the point where you can design your own shirts and print?
So I designed the shirts on Canva. Honestly, I use Canva for everything. And then I work with a local company in Lemoyne, and they do the DTF prints, and then I do the rest on the shirt.
Gotcha.
And everything, so.
Okay. That's a big, I'm sure it's a big investment too, to get to the point where you can print on the transfer paper.
Oh yeah, the DTF.
Yeah,
that is our next step. Is the X tool one. It's a little pricey, but I'm looking at it.
Yeah,
so that's a 2026 goal.
Just set it up there, and then eventually you'll get to that point. Nice. So that's your in-person business. You also have the website. So you want to talk about what you can do on your website, or what other products you guys have that you're offering?
Yeah. So whenever I first started, I was, like I said, that imposter syndrome. I didn't fully believe in myself and what I was doing. So at the time I had ordered like extra keychains from like another local business that like I could also sell, which I'm kind of phasing out of, where once they're gone, they're gone. Then it's all going to be my own handmade items and everything. But so I have some keychains still for sale.
If anyone wants a keychain, Megan's got them.
But on my website is where people can order their custom t-shirts, custom tote bags, basically their custom photo magnets, anything custom. They can go right through the website or just email in to us. The website, because I've been in communication with you and care about it and everything, has been probably the biggest learning curve for me. Because as I grew up in a very technology-based time, but I'm not good with it.
Yeah.
So that's probably my biggest learning.
It's interesting when you go from using a website, like, oh, I'm just going to go shopping or I'm going to whatever, to realizing what goes behind a website to make all those things work. Like a lot of people don't realize, like, there's a lot of stuff that happens on the back end of a website just to get like an order processed or to get whatever. So when you're clicking like add to cart or you're clicking checkout, there's like 6 to 10 or more mechanisms that are happening to complete that order all the way to your door.
Oh, absolutely. And now I'm like, every time I go onto a different website, I'm like, how'd they do that? Like, how do I do that?
I can show you how they're doing
I'm always looking at different ways that other companies do.
I have a tool I'll show you. I'll just talk about it now. If you go on, it's called builtwith.com. Have you done that?
No, I've never heard of it.
So if you go to builtwith.com and you grab a URL, say you find a website that's in your industry, but you want to know if they have a tool on their website. What's that tool they're using? It's not 100%. It's not like a sure shot deal, but if you copy their URL into the search bar on builtwith.com, it'll bring up a list of most of all the things that are on that site that are operating, like any kind of plugins or scripts that are running. So then you can see if they're using certain tools on their site.
Oh, that's good to know. I'm going to have to write that down before I leave.
Especially if it's like they're using the same website platform as you are.
Yeah.
You could be like, okay, I know they're using WordPress or Wix or whatever, Shopify. Like, what else is on that site that I could use? And you just copy paste that URL in and it'll give you a list of most everything that they're running on their site.
Oh, wow. That's so nice. Yeah. That's really nice.
There you go.
Thank you.
There's some other ways, but that's an easy way. So cool. Okay. So anyways, back to your site. That's more than what you can do like in the market stands or at a stand, basically, where people can upload pictures, you're printing for them, you're shipping it back out to them. Probably more products available too, because you're not lugging everything out all the time.
Yeah. I truly just can't bring everything, especially because, the magnet making machine is very heavy and everything.
Right. And magnets are heavy.
A couple of them and like,
sorry, I'm going to go on to the side. Are magnets, I feel like that is a product just to have materials for that's getting extremely expensive. Like the magnet.
Yeah, I mean, they are pricey. So to make them, it is a little bit more expensive. Okay. So
that's probably also like, I wasn't looking, but I'm sure when you're looking at pricing out magnets, you're like, dang, these are like, your customers might think that, this pricing might be a little high for a custom printed thing, but also the materials that go into a lot of this, some of it's not cheap probably.
Yeah, I don't think they're terrible. Okay. They're terrible or anything. But yeah, they are a little bit expensive. Just one magnet, of course you get bulk pricing, so the price goes down and everything. But one magnet is $4 to $5 for a custom magnet.
4 to 5.
4 to 5, depending on.
You said it quick. I thought you said 45. I was like,
no, my apologies.
Grandma might not be getting a magnet. It's $45. No, okay, 4 to 5. $4
to $5. Yeah. Depending on what style you get, what shape or anything. But it does go down, like 8 for 30 or so like it is depending on how many you get. And then obviously whenever I do like events for corporations or for like weddings or anything, there's like bulk pricing for them.
And you're there all day and you're doing more while you're sitting there. So it's cheap. You're not going anywhere. You can make more sales in one spot.
Yes. Yeah.
So that makes sense. So, all right. So what is your what's your favorite thing to print on or to work with? Like if you had one, it might not even be an object, but like your favorite thing to make, whether it's if you're doing a wedding or you're doing, you know, Mother's Day things or whatever it is. Like if you had to work on one thing and you're like, I love doing those. Could be dogs. I don't know.
Honestly, that's exactly what I was going to say. So my favorite customer has been this woman. She was actually another vendor that I had met. Well, they throw parties for their dogs, like birthday parties. Like, and
is that what their business does?
No.
Oh,
I'm so sorry. I don't remember her business. However,
I was gonna say if there's a business that doesn't, if there's no business yet that doesn't do dog birthday parties, someone needs to do dog birthday parties.
No, she just loves her dog.
Okay.
And like spoils the heck out of them. Well, she was showing me all of these photos that she wanted to do, and they were adorable. They're just like, they have backdrops. They have balloons everywhere. They have, I swear it was more lavish than any child's birthday party I had ever been to. So honestly, I really do love whenever customers trust me to send their photos and to make those memories to give to other people and everything. So I'm very grateful to be part of that, part of their life. But honestly, I really enjoy sewing. So
okay. How are you looking for ways to incorporate that into what you're doing now?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to be doing a lot more products this year, including that love for sewing. So I'm going to be doing like sewing some wristlets, sewing some. I'd love to do like some patchwork shirts that I sell, some tote bags, some like little koozies for us iced coffee drinkers, just things of that nature. So.
Yeah. Are you, have you done any of it's a huge industry, but the custom embroidery, like the machines that are.
I haven't, but I want to so badly, especially because we embroider a lot of things for, you know, our
hats
business and everything. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The guys wear beanies everywhere they go. So if you see a guy in a bright blue beanie, he's probably one of our guys.
Yeah. You guys have a blue that's like, it's aggressive. It's a blue. It's like aggressive. A cobalt bright blue.
That's the point though. We won, you know, we're speaking about our landscaping business right now.
We're switching businesses.
Right. That's okay. But that's what we want. We want our customers to look out and like they see a man in their yard, like who, you know, and we want them to see the color and just instantly feel at ease that there's not a random man in their yard, that it's actually somebody that they're paying to be there.
That industry, there's like a couple tiers. We're switching completely to landscaping right now. But I feel like when you see landscapers, there's like 3 tiers. There's like, they're coming in and they're all like torn up, whatever they're wearing. Like it's a muscle shirt, wife beater shirt with like ripped up jeans and are mowing. And then you have like this kind of put together like ragtag crew. And then you have landscaping crews that are all, you know, they're matching. They're all wearing the same t-shirt. They kind of look like they're a team there to actually do your work. But I do feel like when you see the uniforms, like everyone's wearing that, like that color green, that neon, like that tape color.
Yeah.
So just the fact that you guys established like a completely different color for that team is pretty awesome.
Yeah. We just wanted to, like I said, we wanted to stand out because I feel like you see that color, you don't really look, but you see the bright blue and you're like, oh, that's pretty, because it kind of catches the eye. And, you know, he's very intentional about making sure all of the enclosed trailers have the branding on it. You know, it's a big dragon. If you have,
I've seen a dragon.
Yeah. So that's kind of the point, you know,
makes
enclosed
you do a double
trailers.
take.
So it's nice and clean and everything. So that's kind of part of his mission is like, you know, just kind of looking presentable, being presentable, making a difference in our employees' lives, and as well as our customers, as even as simple as picking up trash in their yard or picking up trash in the neighbor's yard. So we're not doing anything for, like, it's just looking for ways to be a better human. So.
Yeah. Just little things go a long way.
Yeah.
But anyways, back on embroidery.
I know. We're basically speaking of his business.
I've seen like, you know, you go to a fair or even like a market stand or someplace in the mall, and they have those cart-sized embroidery machines, and they're doing custom hats and stuff. So that would be a cool line to add. And that's not very hard. I'm speaking from like very layman's terms. That's not very hard to do. So, but I'm sure like it'd be not difficult to set up a file for the embroidery and you're like, okay, that's the logo you want. Like, good to go. All right, we're going to run it on this color thread, and you just run it.
Right. No,
It's that
agree. It's that easy. Yeah. Right. I agree that is something, a line that I want to go down and everything. But, I've probably been in business. I thought of this company in July, and the very next day I went and established, the domain and everything with all the government things.
Yeah.
And then my first event was in September. So I've really only been at this for about 4 months. So
yeah, you'll get there.
I have lots of goals that I want to get to, and that is one of them. So
yeah, as long as you have a vision now. They don't all have to come in the same order. They won't come in the same order. But as long as they're like out there on your radar, they'll come.
I have a notes app in my phone. It's called Notion, and it's just
I use that.
Do you? I love it.
Yeah.
It's great. Honestly, it organizes like all my events. Like,
do you have it broken out by like, this is my personal stuff, I have this here, I have this, like Notion has all those. Once I figured out how to make like the notebooks and break them down inside of there, and you can link other notes to other notes or YouTube videos or whatever, like I went bananas.
See, you're Notion. An IT guy. You probably know a little bit more, but I have mine mostly broken up between like, McBride's Food Color Construction and Wink Print Keepsakes. And then between there, I have like marketing, event, like different things of that nature.
You can do some crazy stuff. There's like a shortcuts. Do you do it on a laptop too?
I do.
Okay. Yeah. So on the laptop, it's easier because you don't have to go through that weird, like, second or third keyboard.
That's where I set things up, and then the phone is just where I add things.
Yeah, quick add.
Yeah.
So on the laptop, if you go to the Notion website, they have like the shortcuts list of like how to create different types of notes by just hitting like a / or whatever type of key. And like once I learned those, it's crazy. You probably wouldn't. Yeah, I geeked out over it, but like you said, I'm a little more IT driven. But yeah, I love the Notion. A little bit of an IT nerd. This is not a Notion sponsorship either. But if they want to sponsor, no, though that's cool. So like you're doing a good job of like balancing two different businesses too. So are you still pretty involved in the McBride side as well? Yeah,
I very much am. So honestly, right now, the past few months, it's been, during the week doing McBride's things. And then on the weekends is whenever I would do my markets and everything. This year is going to be a little bit different as we're hiring a receptionist that can take over some of the roles, more of the day-to-day things for the McBride's business. And then, so like a few days throughout the week, I'll be able to really hit my company a little bit further.
It's nice too, because it's, at least from the Wink and Print side, it's not something that is, for the most part, like reactive where you got to do it right now as stuff comes in. Like you can set your schedule with it. Like, okay, well tonight I'm going to do these 3 items and get those ready to ship out. I'm going to get this ready. But then like if things get busy on the other side, you can juggle that pretty easily right now. Cause, maybe for now, if the demand goes up, which would be awesome, that might have to change that story. But at least
that is why I was pretty slow on getting the whole social media, why I wasn't really pressed to start doing those things, just because it's like, okay, like this is what I can handle right now. But like I said, we're going through like interview process right now and picking people and everything. So once we have that down, I think it'll kind of relieve a little bit, and I'll still be very involved in that business, but
doing other things,
just more of the back end things instead of the day-to-day.
You'll find something I'm sure to always be doing in it.
Oh, absolutely.
No, that's awesome. So do you have anything, I know we covered a bunch on the what you're doing now. Do you have anything new coming up that you wanted to like, I know you said you're doing some stuff, you're getting ready for Valentine's Day. That's a big holiday coming up. We have a few in the spring. I don't know if you do anything for Easter, but we got like Valentine's Day, Easter, Mother's Day, Father's Day. Like that's all in the next 6 months. Yeah. And those are all big like keepsake holidays. So
yeah, I mean, I think that like, honestly, every time that I go to buy something for Christmas or for, their birthdays, my parents are always like, we don't want anything. And they like truly mean it. Where like, if I get them like,
I'm that way now. Gift, my kids aren't even older yet.
Right. If I get them an actual gift, they're like, we don't want this, and I know a lot of friends that have the same thing. But if I make like a little scrapbook that out of crap, oh my goodness, this is the best thing. So with that said, I think that the photo magnets are the biggest hit for parents, especially.
They're simple.
Grandparents. My mom just ordered a ton from me. My brother recently had their first child, so
she's sending them out.
Exactly, yeah. And she's sending them to everybody because she's a proud grandmother.
Yeah.
So they're great gifts so I am definitely going to be pushing my photo magnets this time of year. And then also just kind of more of like the corporate events and everything is what I'm going to get more into. So
nice. What do you do at the corporate events? Is it the same basically that you have at your stands, like at the markets, or are you doing something specific where you're having like a photo booth type deal where you're instant printing? What are you doing for that?
Yeah. So that is going to be more of like a photo type booth where there's just a basic backdrop. You take your photos in front of it and then as you're leaving at the end of the night,
you'll have
them ready. So some companies, I've been in contact with one that like wants their name at the bottom of the thing. That way, whenever their employees see it, because they're paying for them all of the employees. So that way, whenever their employees see it, whether they're still working with that company or not, and it goes on their fridge, anyone that comes over, oh, okay, I forgot that you work there. Oh, I forgot about this company. Just a reminder.
That's a good idea.
So
I have some ideas for that, but for us to use. But no, I think it's awesome. And like you said, you have some holidays coming up, keepsakes. I don't think any parent or grandparent or great grandparent, if there's, if you guys still have them, like none of them have ever gotten upset that you gave them a picture of their grandkids. Or the pets. I'm sure pets are popular too, but like
pets are probably the most popular, and then babies come second.
Oh, yeah.
I've done a few like pregnancy announcements and things of that nature. And I really do love that just because like that's one of my favorite parts about this. Like I'm such a people person that like, I just love going to markets and connecting with people and talking with other vendors. And I think that's one of the most magical things of just like all the local small businesses are just so amazing and supportive. And,
because they're all doing the same thing you are. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get through this week. We're going to figure it out. Like, and they'll help you out.
Yeah.
But no, that's awesome. So, is there any other like final updates you have? Anything new? We'll do a shout out on the bottom to your website, like with your links and everything to check out your socials, check out your website. But anything else you have new coming up?
No, just some local markets.
What markets do you normally go to? We'll end on that. Like, give us a shout out to where people can find you most of the time.
So May through August, I'm going to be at Gruber Farms for one weekend of each month. And then I'm going to be at Evergreen on February 12th. Little Valentine's night. It's indoors. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Around this time of year.
That makes sense.
Indoors best.
The next 2 weeks don't look very warm. So hopefully they're not sticking outside.
But Valentine's Day, I will be out in the cold for Shippensburg Winterfest. That's up near your direction. Yep. So, Sage Lane Cottage is probably my favorite home base. That was my first ever market. The woman that runs it is phenomenal. She's very she just is very on top of everything. She looks out for you as vendors, has her husband come around, check on everybody, see if they need anything. Just again, local small businesses looking out for other local small businesses. So.
Nice. All right. Well, if you guys are interested in checking out anything that Meghan has on Wink and Print, you can go to any of the websites that we have down. We'll list them in the bottom of the show. And then any new announcements, whatever, I'm sure you put on your socials. So make sure you go follow her there as well.
Lots of new sewing items to come.
Yes, the sewing part. And embroidery.
Thank you for having me today. Yes.
The easy embroidery.
Yes, hopefully embroidery coming soon. But
thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having
enjoyed
me.
catching up.
Yeah, it was awesome. Thank you.